Well, the first video yesterday with the new SD cards was a success. If you guys saw my video, everything is good. See, I'm using this instant hand sanitizer. Very cool. And I'm sitting just at the junction of Highway 11, Highway 17, and just did some grocery shopping at the nearby Safeway. Safeway, it's a Canadian chain of groceries, like a big store, you know. And inside, guess what they have? They have this, right? And I found this little trick where you can park on the side of the road and just quickly run inside and, you know, do some shopping, and you're not hurting anybody. There's no signs here. Alright, what did I do with my key? Now, yesterday, as I'm lying on my bed and watching the second season of Salvation, my newly found joy. I don't know, how did I miss this movie? You know, I saw the sign, you know, the title, Salvation. What the heck is that? Another sci-fi drama, but I'm now hooked. I watched the entire season 1 in one day, and I went to bed at 3 in the morning in Winnipeg when I was sitting at the hotel. But now, of course, I cannot do that since I have to drive, and so now I'm doing it responsibly. So yesterday I probably watched a couple of episodes from season 2, and it's getting to a point where I want to turn it off, but I still want to see, like, of course it's a TV show, right? It never ends, so that asteroid hurtling itself towards Earth is probably going to be still 10 days away when they end season 2. But it's still interesting. It's like, actors are amazing, you know. Everybody's new. Like, is there any actors I know? No, I think pretty much everybody is yeah, like all actors. I never heard of them or saw them before. Anyway, and so as I'm watching that, I hear this, I feel this, you know. No sound, just, and I look in the mirror, son of a gun, and I parked on the side at the TA in Dryden. That's where I spend the night. Man, check this out. Check this Western Star with the blacked out hood. Wow. And that guy had a shifter like this, you know how some guys put like shifter here. I don't know how they can drive like this, but some guys enjoy it. And he had a black sun visor. You know, looks like the guy is, you know, likes his truck was probably it's well, he does lumber, right? So anyway, this guy hits me. Hold on, I think we have something on the front here. So the guy hits me, and I went out, and he swears, you know, it's not him. And I say, wait, you broke the flag, you know, because in Ontario, I have to have signs and flags that I'm oversized, even when I'm empty, right? And so I had 2 flags on each side, and I said, hey, look, you broke the flag, right? When I came in, it was in here. You see, now it's broken, it's hanging, and then I saw scratches on the side. So basically, he hit me on the driver's side, the last axle. Like, this trailer just is not getting any luck, you know. But not too bad. I double checked the pins. You know, I was afraid he would knock it out of alignment. But you know what happened in New Jersey, right? And why I needed alignment is because I was driving and the guy was driving towards me. So the heat was, it's like, you know, slamming into a wall at 40 miles an hour, you know. But this way, I was parked and the guy just, it was pretty gentle, you know. So I guess he saw it, son of a bitch, right away. He felt it, because I know I wasn't accidents like this myself, so you know right away if your truck hits something, because you can feel it. If I felt it lying on the sofa where he hit my last axle, which is 60 feet away, and I just felt the vibration go through the fifth wheel. So trust me, he knew that he hit me, and I just saw that. I look in the mirror and I see he tries quickly to go back, you know, because I'm pretty sure he, you know, there was a space. I left a gap, being, you know, considerate guy. I left a gap behind me so people can back in there, and turns out that gap was so big is that's what this guy tried to do. He tried to back, you know, from his blind side between me and the truck behind me, which was like 100 feet away. And I'm pretty sure he hit me either with his wheels of his truck or his rear fenders or something, because I see scratches, and I see like that little metal band where your mud flap hangs, right? The side got bent. So it was something pretty sharp. And I look at his radiator, he has the, you know, that moose bumper, right? Everything is very like aerodynamic and round. So if he hit me with that one, there would not be any bent metal parts, you know. So it was something where he got really, so I'm pretty sure it was, yeah, either his, it's not tires, because the tires could not do that bend thing, right? And so yeah, I come out, the guy, and I was so angry, because, you know, this is not the first time. So I brought with me the crowbar, you know. I'm thinking, if this guy hit me, I'm gonna smash his mirrors, you know. I don't care. I'm so sick and tired of this, where people don't know how to park, you know. And I go there, and I have and I'm dragging the crowbar, you know, like they show in horror movies. I'm dragging the crowbar on the pavement, and it makes this noise, you know. And I'm walking to this guy, and I'm honest, I was ready to knock something down, like either the guy or the mirrors, because, and he, really, did I hit it? Don't do that, guys. If you hit somebody, just own it, admit it, say it, you fucked up, you know, you screwed up. Anyway, I said, I need some cash. And the guy said, I said, give me at least like $200, you know, because in case I need to do alignment. And the guy says, I have 50. I said, okay, give me 50. So he says, I'll just go in the truck and get the money. I said, okay. And so he went in and got me $50 Canadian. So 35 US. That's all I got. But I checked in the morning, and as I'm driving, I'm checking the alignment. No, the trailer is perfectly straight. Nothing is going sideways, because that was my biggest concern. A couple of scratches. That's nothing. That flag was, you know, I broke it already before, so it was shorter than it's supposed to be. So this was like the last straw that broke the flag's back. And that metal part slightly bent. I'll put it back, I'll hit it with a crowbar, but it's just unpleasant, you know, when people don't pay attention. But it was dark. It was about 8 o'clock. It was completely dark, and this guy, I don't know, like, so he hit me with his blind side. Of course, in his defense, it's hard to see unless you know what you're doing, and you have to watch your mirrors, because you always need to know where all parts of your truck are going, you know, because trust me, I remember when I just started driving, I hit a garbage bin with my front. You know, I was backing, and it was just a straight truck, you know, like a 10-ton truck. I'm backing, and I'm very concerned not to hit anything in the back, and I forgot to look at the front, and I was turning, and I wasn't paying attention, and the front of my truck, the hood, slammed into a garbage bin. Like, no damage, just a couple of scratches, but it was not my truck. I was a company driver. And that lesson I still remember. That was like freaking 15 years ago. I still remember, always be aware, not just the one side of your truck, but all sides of your truck, especially when you're backing in the darkness and there's a angry Russian guy in a 60-ton trailer ahead of you. You know, you got to be extremely careful. All right, so that's what it looks like. The temperature is 0, somewhere like 32 F, minus snow on the ground, but it's, you know, feels pretty warm. The sky is nasty, and today is Saturday, and I'm driving and I'm listening to news and some stand-up comedy on my satellite radio. And actually I programmed here the Husky in Nipigon, but it's only 103 kilometers away, which will not do. So I drove non-stop to here from Dryden, so it took me like 4 hours. And I want to end up in where? I want to end up in Hearst. And that's 503 kilometers away. So what is this?
Head northeast on Trans-Canada Highway East, Ontario 11 East.
Yeah, 600 miles. Well, today is Saturday, so even though I had some infractions during the week with my diet, but I'm telling you, like, I grew up with bread. So today we're getting off the diet, and this bread is amazing because it has seeds. And it has some dried fruit inside. Like, it's so tasty, you know. I can just eat this whole thing by myself. And I also bought some blackberries and some blueberries. So that's gonna be my lunch as I'm driving. People were asking me about the DEV call. I gotta say that I'm extremely pleased with the upgrade. Even though it was a lot of money, but it's so much easier to see when you need to drain it. And also I don't even have to open the hood because it's right next to the opening near the wheel, so I can just lean in, and you know, and that's just a tap in there, right? No longer there's a screw I have to fight, but just a tap. You flip it and you can drain. Of course you put some kind of a container underneath usually. And I definitely noticed some improvement in performance. But that guy Red, remember I was in Nova Scotia and I had trouble with some codes, and I found the comment shop and I met a guy named Red. He was a comments technician. So he's been watching my videos. I gave him my card and he's been watching my videos, and he recently reached out through Facebook, which I since then closed. Like I mentioned in the previous video, I'm no longer on Facebook, I'm no longer on Instagram, just YouTube, Twitter, and Google My Business. And so he said that the filter I got is too big, because my Kenworth, when I got it, it had a 7 micron filter and it was always plugging up, right? So I switched to 30 micron filter when I had Packard. And now this time there was no 30 micron filter for this thing, so the biggest one I found was 25 microns, and that's what I asked Kenworth to supply a filter like that. And Red says that's too much. He says Comments recommends using 10 micron filter. He says if you're using 25, what's gonna happen, there's some kind of a small secondary filter somewhere there. He says that one is only 4 microns. I don't know what it was, but he said there's another filter. And he says if you're using 25 microns, that other filter, it will get plugged very fast. And he told me the part number, and there's one just numbers, and then there's another one with G, with letter G in the end. So that one is for biodiesel. And so he says, yeah, 7 microns is too restrictive. It's not gonna work. But he says 10 is already enough difference, so you're not gonna experience any trouble with biodiesel. But at the same time, it's gonna create proper filtration, the one that Cummins recommends for my engine. And so, like I said, so I'm extremely pleased with this DEFCO system. I would definitely never use PACCAR again if I buy another truck, or when I buy another truck, it'll get DEFCO. And also another big thing is that, turns out, on my PACCAR, I had the ability to provide heat to that filter, but it was never connected. And what they found is that there was no way to activate the heat, even though it was it could take coolant heat or electric heat, something like that. But he said they didn't give you any switches, like you cannot switch it on and off. And so the big difference with this system is that this one is permanently plugged for coolant heat. So coolant goes through that filter, and I'm still gonna put a couple of hats like this on the top in winter because it helps to keep the, you know, the fuel warm. But that's what I had to do before. I'll see how this one performs. But so that's a big difference. Much easier to see when it's time to drain it. I think it's a much better filtration system in general, and it's going to be heated, which in Canada in winter is very important. And so the only change I will make now is try that recommended 10 micron filter. And surprisingly, that's the only mod I did so far on this truck, pretty much, right? I remember when I got my first truck, that Yellow International, I don't know, I was obsessed with turning that truck into a performance machine. And man, but you know, it was a relatively cheap truck, 64,000 Canadian, 4 years old. It had 165,000 miles on the odometer. It was pretty much a brand new truck. You know, it looked new inside. There was no issues, and I got it with extended warranty. I made the dealer transfer the warranty to my name, and I remember I had some trouble with the engine, with those actuators. Back in the day, they were always failing on these CAT engines over there, the Acert, and most of them I replaced by under warranty. And I think only the last two I had to pay myself, and they were pretty expensive. Otherwise, if you don't replace them, they throw codes. There was some errors, you know. But man, on that one, I changed the horsepower, I changed the torque, I changed the exhaust. I ran for a while with no mufflers. It was a riot, you know. The diesel truck, almost 500 horsepower with no mufflers. Man, I had to put mufflers back on because I was getting deaf. And I installed a Flowmaster, a 5-inch Flowmaster. And Flowmaster is the only company I know, like a car muffler company, that makes such big mufflers that you can use on a commercial truck, you know. And it was awesome. And I even went so far as, that was my first foray into this territory, to port the manifold. Of course, the truck doesn't have headers, right? It has a manifold. And I found a company, I think it's somewhere in Wyoming or somewhere there, Wisconsin. And this was a great upgrade because it improves your horsepower. And basically you buy this ported manifold from them, and on their website they show how they smooth out all corners. Basically they increase the capacity for the manifold to let the air in, you know. And it was a lot of fun. But this manifold upgrade was like a couple of $1,000 Canadian with the install. But it was all fun. So on this truck, because it's a brand new truck and I spec'd it the way I wanted it, even though I did make some mistakes and some omissions, but it's pretty much, I like it, right? So the only thing I did, I just had to change this fuel system, and the next mod I'm gonna do, I'm gonna get a tuner. I'm gonna get a tuner to give me more torque when I have a heavy load and climbing a hill like this, you know. Of course now I'm empty, but I probably had some water in fuel because I see already some restriction, and as soon as that fuel restriction goes above, like towards 2 or 3, that's what happens. I feel I lose power. Like I'm empty, but okay, I weigh 73,000 pounds, but I should not be this slow on a hill like this with 605 horsepower. And this happened a lot when I had the Packer. Nowadays with the Defco it happens very rarely, but I feel the difference in performance, like I said, right away as soon as I see that needle go above 0. But the good news is another change that's gonna happen is that from now on I'll be able to change my own fuel filter / water separator, because I bought that special wrench, right? And I watched a couple of videos on YouTube how to do it. So now whenever this thing starts going too crazy, like past 5, you know, they say even 5 is okay, 5 restriction, but if it goes towards 10, that's it, it's time to change the filter. And then of course I can see on the Defco when the fuel goes all the way up, then when it's time to change it. And so now I'll be doing it myself, which is especially important in winter, you know, when they plug in fast. Or of course I'm gonna carry, I did not buy them yet. Once I reach home I'm gonna drive over to a bot store and get me some of those 10 micron, and maybe I'll get one, just to be on the safe side, I'll get one, the same one I have now, for 25 microns, you know. You never know. Maybe just buy one of each, 10 microns and 25, and just, I'll try 10. If it works, fine. I'll keep using them. If it doesn't work, I'll go back to 25. But I do see, like I always say, and everybody, all Canadian guys know this, that in Canada, diesel is much better quality for some reason. I don't know. A lot of it is brought from US, but it looks different. It works better. The truck works better on Canadian diesel. It looks clear. Like Michigan has similar fuel. It basically looks like water, right? There's no green colors in it. The only exception is Pilot. If you go to a Pilot or Flying J truck stop in Canada, they sell the same type of fuel, the same biodiesel you buy in the States, the same 10 to 20% biodiesel. I don't like it. So I like Husky over here. I like Petro. And there's a Petro, just a regular gas station, but they have some diesel pumps next to my yard in Cambridge. And I always try to fill up there before leaving Canada, so that I leave either with both tanks full or with one tank. But of course it's a small station, so the hoses are very small, the pumps are slow, it takes a long time to fill up one tank. So quite often I just do one side only, like a driver side. Oh yeah, because they don't have satellite pumps, right? Like on the big truck stop you have two hoses, so you can fill up both tanks simultaneously. At a small gas station you have to turn around, you have to go inside, pay, then turn around. and you know, use another pump or the same pump and just turn around to fill up the other side, you know. Takes a long time, but the fuel, Petro Canada, the fuel is a good quality. And I just found out that my American Express gives me extra points when I use petrol. And I double checked with them. I said, both for gas and diesel? They said yes. And so I get some bonus points when I use petrol. And also I like that petrol station because also the Petro Canada is one of the few stations in Ontario that carry 94 gas. 94. And my car really likes that gas, you know. I try to use it all the time. It's a bit more money, but I can feel the difference in performance. And you'll see this next year. I hope there'll be more videos about my car, because I didn't do you know, too many mods or too many videos with the car, and I still love that car. So the plans are, so the tuner, right? So I cancel my order for the throttle body because that's just a waste of money. But I did order the tuner from Diablo Sport. So now I have to send them my PCM for unlocking. So we'll do a video about that, how to take out the PCM. Never did it before, and I have to send it to them overnight. They unlock it, send it back, I install it. We'll do another video about that, and then I'll do a video how to install the tune. Because I'm gonna get a tuner which looks like a cell phone pretty much. And you just hook it up to your PCM port under the dash, and you install the tune. And they don't have 94 tune, but they have 93 gas tune, and so I'm gonna go with that one. So in Canada I can always find 94 gas, and in US I always can find 93 gas, but I rarely see 94, and so I'm gonna get that 93 gas tune. And I know I will get extra power and extra performance, and then so basically, yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. Next year I'll do more videos on my channel about the car, because, you know, I'm a trucker. That's a high power vehicle, high horsepower vehicle. I love it. That's kind of like one of my hobbies, and I think it belongs on this channel. If you guys don't want to see it, don't, you know, look at the description, at the title, don't watch it. Anyway, I'm gonna pause over here. We're gonna restart when I'm cruising past lake, what is it called, Helena, like that nice interesting lake where you go past these huge rocks. It's gonna be like 40 minutes, 50 minutes.
Continue on Ontario 11 East for 6 kilometers.
This is 1 hour later. We are in Nipigon, Ontario. And that's the Husky where I like to stop, because they have a huge parking lot. I'm talking about the Canadian flag. Husky truck stops in Canada always have a Canadian flag. Township of Nipigon, population 1,700 people. We got a police station over here, policing this at 1,700 people. And quite often over here you see some cool loads, you know, like I see a guy with an excavator, 4-axle truck, I think 3-axle truck, 4-axle trailer. And the inn on the right is called Timber Wolf Inn. That's a pretty cool name. wanted to stop here, but fuel is always expensive here, and it's only 1 hour since I started driving. Usually I try to drive for at least 2 hours, but that stop near the Thunder Bay, that was my first stop of the day, and I left the truck stop around 8 in the morning Eastern time, because I was still on Central time. It was like 7, and so I drove non-stop about 4 hours, 4:15, 4:30, somewhere there. Like this sky, you know, it's so nasty. Like it's kind of like a very stormy weather, you know, up ahead. It's +5, which is 41F. Now this bridge looks pretty cool from the top of the hill. And so this is where these two highways separate, 11, 17, right? Over here, following the tanker. Highway 11 this way towards Cochrane, and Highway 17 is straight to Sault Ste. Marie, where you can cross.
Turn left onto Trans-Canada Highway, Ontario 11 East, sign for rear door Cochrane.
Where you can cross the border and go to the Sault Ste. Marie, Michigan. We have over here Indian reservation. That's what the sign said. I thought it was not the proper term nowadays, but no, the sign says Indian Reserve. So some places are still using that term, so don't blame me. My favorite spot. At night in winter when I have an oversized load. Like during the day, no snow, no rain, No oversized load, it's fine. Makes for a cool video. Loaded, I would never drive here like this. I think when I'm loaded with some big machine, I drop one half a gear to 8 low, and I just do like 80 kilometers an hour, 50 miles an hour. But now I'm empty. It feels like driving my Challenger. Looks very, very dirty because it's windy. Right, probably lots of sand is mixed up with water. Because I can see the first I don't know 20-30 meters, 100 feet. It's one color, like sandy, and then further down it's like dark, almost black water. Where it gets deep and clean, I'm not a fan of lakes and rivers. They look cool in the picture, but no, what I like is mountain lakes, you know. We're somewhere in the mountains and there's forests, like in Montana somewhere. And there's a forest and there's a lake with crystal clear blue water. That's awesome. They have places like that in British Columbia, Canada. Very nice. Didn't see a single animal today. I've been driving all day, right? I'm on these forests and stuff, and no bears, no wolves, no deer, no moose, nothing. On the way to Swan River or Manitoba, I saw a small fox. It jumped out of the woods on the right shoulder, and then as soon as it saw my truck, it jumped right back into the woods. Like did a quick 180, you know, shook, 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 boom, gone. Because I was driving at night. Yeah, now it's only 2:45 Eastern time, so that's why probably I don't see animals, because it's not the time, and I don't want to see them, especially on the road. Actually, wait, yesterday I saw two deer. Yeah, yesterday in the middle of the day. They were standing on the right shoulder, and there was bushes and trees right next to it, and of course it's hard to see them because they are pretty much the same, like it was gray, and the dirt around them was gray. only saw them where they were probably like those rocks, you know, ahead of me. I hit the brakes right away because I was not sure what they were gonna do, but it was like a mother and a small deer standing, and they were so intently looking this way across. And I'm thinking, that's it. If I don't have time to stop, they're gonna run in front of me. They're gonna seriously damage my truck. So I honked, thinking that maybe they'll run away. They didn't even move. And so I crawled past them at like 75 kilometers an hour, 45 miles an hour. So I got lucky. You never know what to expect from deer. All right, and I think that's it. You see my arrow showing my truck is moving away from the lake. That's it. So now we're gonna have a couple of very bad hills over here. I remember that when I had a big load here, I have to like shut down, I mean downshift all the way to like 4th gear. It's very bad, right from somewhere from here. If you have a heavy load, you start slowing down, you know. But there's two guys in the front. None of them is a heavy hauler, so we should be okay. So yeah, pretty much it's almost 3 o'clock, right? I don't want to drive at night because of the wildlife. And because I don't have to, like I'm not in a rush. And I have all the time in the world to get home. I don't have a reload. And that Esso in Hearst, Ontario is pretty much like 5 hours away. I know the GPS says 3 hours 54 minutes, but that's never gonna happen. Because the distance from here to that truck stop is 381 kilometers, which is 180 and 50, 230 miles. So that's 4, yeah, it's like, okay, not 5 hours, but 4.5 for sure. And that's without stopping. So if it's 3 o'clock now, plus 4, 7, plus half, 7:30. Yeah, I don't think I want to drive. I don't think I want to drive that late. Alright, we're gonna switch back to cruise control. 92 kilometers an hour. 57 miles per hour. And I'm thinking maybe I'll stop at that Ruby place. There's like a coffee shop. Ruby coffee shop, I think it's about 1 or 2 hours from here. Did you guys hear the sad news about Sean Connery? I love that guy. He was real funny. Now one thing I learned today, so he died today at the age of 90. He was born in 1930. So 6 years older than my mother. So my mom will be, yeah, she will be 84. 90 minus 6, 84. Yeah, she will be 84 in December. Still going strong. Crazy woman walks around with those what they call Nordic walking with those special sticks. She tries to do a couple of kilometers every day. Yeah, Nordic walking, that's what it's called. In Russian it's called Skandinavskaya ходьба. It's kind of like a, you know, ski sticks, but you just use them so that when you walk, you don't exercise just your legs, but your arms and hands. I think it's a good idea, especially, you know, when she's walking in winter, right? And it's slippery, and those sticks, they have those sharp metal tips, right? So she has much less chance to slip and fall and break her hip when she's walking with these sticks. And as we all know, it's a very bad thing for an elderly person to fall down and break something, because at that age bones don't want to heal because they don't have enough calcium in the body, right? But one cool thing, I was listening to some people talk about the actor Sean Connery, and many saying that he was their favorite Bond in all the movies because he was the first, right? But what I did not know is that he left home, I think, when he was 13, and he dropped out of high school, and he was an avid bodybuilder, like one guy put it. He was an avid bodybuilder, and so he started his kind of like actor career as a model, posing for painters and maybe photographers, because he had a nicely developed muscular body. You know, that's pretty cool. And of course he's tall and lanky, you know, a handsome guy. And what's interesting is that his first Bond movie came out in the year I was born, 1962. 1962, Sean Connery became really famous. So I like that guy. Saw lots of movies with him. Anyway, I think you guys seen enough, right? As you can see, still hardly any snow on the ground. I'm pretty sure it's the same storm that came through Winnipeg when I was staying at the hotel Monday, Tuesday. But over here, you see there's just occasional spots, like nothing on this side, almost nothing on this side, but some snow here. Yeah, usually in Canada the weather stays pretty over here in Ontario. The weather stays pretty good all the way to Christmas. Like once you roll over Christmas, the end of December, then that's when bad things start happening, you know, low temperatures, snowstorms, you know, freezing rain. So that's when our snowbirds, you know, Canadian retirees that own or rent a property in US, that's when they start flying south to Florida, Arizona. So people from Ontario, they fly or drive to Florida. People from Alberta, a lot of them have second properties in Arizona, because it's straight down, right? Arizona is straight south from Alberta, and Florida is pretty much straight south from Ontario. I don't know if I'll go this winter. a couple of years ago, right? I went to Florida. Oh, when I was waiting for this truck, I drove to Florida in my Mustang, and it was pretty cool down there. But I just don't like too much traffic, right? I was where? I was in the middle of Florida. It's too many old people. Lights, you stop at the light will be red for like 5 minutes. I never saw such slow lights as in Florida. And very busy, very crazy. Everybody's in a rush. At least over there, like in the middle of Florida. But I might go there. I might go somewhere. Oh yeah, but the border is still closed. Actually, I cannot go anywhere as a civilian. I can only go in my truck. But I don't want to do that. I want to drive my car, which I hardly ever drive. My Challenger 6.4 liter V8, 485 horsepower, 475 torque. So I hope maybe they'll open the border after Christmas, but from what I'm hearing on the news, it's getting worse and worse in the States with this coronavirus, because people are partying, they don't pay attention, nobody's wearing masks. Actually it's much safer. It's much safer now in Canada. Alright, that's it. Thanks for watching, boys and girls. Be good, stay warm, stay safe. Ciao.